Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here with your next rose review, and today it's a hybrid tea rose from breeder Dickson. Bred and introduced in 1983, this rose is called Freedom and is available here in the UK through Peterbilt's Roses. Now my specimen is really quite small and really very young, but when this rose finds its stride it's going to come up to around 65 to 80 centimetres tall and around 60 centimetres wide, creating quite a large, upright and handsome shrub with dark emerald green high gloss foliage, producing, because it's a hybrid tea, one flower per stem. Now I know many of you will like this style of rose, this what you would now describe to be old-fashioned, which isn't old-fashioned, it's actually one of the modern types of rose, but many of you refer to this as an old-fashioned style of rose as we've moved more towards modern cultivars with many more petals. But the hybrid tea producing one individual flower per stem, normally perfect for cutting and bringing into the house. Now again, temperatures here in the UK at the moment are really hot. This small plant not struggling as such, but the blooms should be a little larger than this, measuring normally around 3 to 3.5 inches in diameter. These are just about 2.5 coming on to 3, so they're a little smaller than they would normally be, which is very normal for the time of season and when it's particularly hot. But I say, an individual flower produced on an upright sturdy stem, which is perfect for cutting and bringing into the house. These rose flowers will have that typical spiral right in the very center of the flower, as you'd expect a hybrid tea to do. And as the flower fully blows out, as these are now, those petals curling backwards and inwards on themselves, giving loads of color and texture. Now one of the nicest characteristics with Freedom is it doesn't bleach out in the sunlight. In fact, this is a little bit of a sun worshipper, needing a location in the garden in full sun. It really requires around 6 hours of direct sunlight per day, which, rest assured, will not bleach out these beautiful, strong, rich golden flowers like a lot of hybrid teas and other roses will do in direct sunlight. This one holding its color nicely. Fully hardy in zones 6 through 11, it's a free flowering variety, producing the first of the flowers in June and flowering continuously all the way through to the very back end of October, and ever so slightly into October if we have a nice warm summer. But it's really very pretty. Let's bring some foliage for you to see. Say high gloss emerald green foliage, really very typical of a hybrid tea rose, waxy and leathery to the touch. It's quite thick and coarse, and there is a small amount of barbing running along the back of the leaf axil. Actually, Freedom has a medium thorn count, and even on the strong and woody growth right towards the bottom of the plant, it still doesn't have huge amounts of thorn, so I'm going to be rating this one with a medium thorn count. Disease resistance, I have the pleasure in offering this one 6 out of 10 for disease resistance. It does have a little bit of leaf drop if it gets a little bit stressed. You will need to watch your watering to make sure it doesn't get mold and black spot, but one of these continuous flowering roses which never really gives itself a breath or gives itself a break in the season. So these high performing varieties requiring an ever so slightly a more amount of attention than others, but a very beautiful rose, especially if you want something strong and powerful and wants to make sure that the color of the plant doesn't get affected by the sun. You know this one is not going to change at all. Fragrance wise, the fragrance is sweet and very light. It's a little nondescript. It doesn't have a huge amount of fragrance there. I'm going to be rating this one today with a 3 out of 10 on the fragrance rating, but all round a really good rose, especially if you want to plant something in full sun that you don't want to have the colour affected by strong summer temperatures, maintaining this strong, rich and bold colour and flowering almost continuously through all the summer months right up into the very end of September and into October. Today's rose is Freedom, which is available here in the UK through Peterbilt's Roses.